This is an ABC News special report. Your voice, your vote. Now reporting, George Stephanopoulos.
And we are coming on the air right now because ABC News has learned that Donald Trump has settled on a vice presidential pick. It is Indiana Governor Mike Pence. You see him right there, Republican governor of Indiana, former member of the House of Representatives, as well, social conservative, running for re-election this year as governor of Indiana. We are told, though, that he will give that up. You see Donald Trump there in Indiana with Mike Pence earlier this week. The phone call made this afternoon to Mike Pence. We're told he's on his way to New York. Let's go straight to ABC's John Carl.
Georgia, I am told that this call took place, that Donald Trump offered Mike Pence the job. Mike Pence has accepted it. This will happen tomorrow, the announcement at 11 o'clock. Quite a traditional pick, one of the more traditional things we have seen Donald Trump do in this race. Mike Pence is in many ways an establishment conservative Republican. 12 years in Congress, in the leadership in Congress. He was the number 4 Republican in Congress before he left to go back to Indiana to run for governor. We know that this came down at the end to Newt Gingrich, Chris Christie, and Mike Pence. And in the end, Mike Pence is the one that Donald Trump has decided to offer the running mates.
John Carl, thanks. Let me bring that to Tom Yamas. You've been covering the Trump campaign from the start. Pretty extraordinary process right here. We saw a lot of public auditions, and at the very end, we saw a big voice to the entire Trump family.
That's right. It almost played out sort of like a reality show, is the way some described it. Even Newt Gingrich was part of the process. One of the best things that may have happened to Governor Pence was that Trump's plane had a mechanical problem while in Indiana. It forced all those meetings with Pence to happen on his home turf. And you're right, the Trump family played a big role. Sources tell ABC News that one of the reasons why Trump ended up picking Governor Pence is because Pence won over the Trump children. They wanted to get to know him. They wanted to get to know what he was about. And it's not that he's exactly like Trump, because he's very different from Trump. But from what we've heard is that the two men gelled in a way that they were able to bounce ideas off each other. Now, that being said, it may be a rocky honeymoon because there are several key issues that Pence does not agree with Trump with.
There will be a lot of questions about that. But Cokie Roberts, in many ways, this helps buy Donald Trump a lot of peace at his convention next week. Because Mike Pence is respected by social conservatives, respected by the establishment. We already heard the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, say he's a good guy and has real deep ties to top Republican money men as well.
Absolutely, George. I talked to several key Republicans today, and they said, look, what this will do is calm the troops. The last thing we needed was another outsider, a newcomer, or somebody who was bombastic, which would describe both Christie and Gingrich. And, of course, Gingrich is a very well-known quantity here in Washington and has very positive and negative reviews. Mike Pence has some negative reviews as well in Indiana and has signed a very controversial abortion law that was put on hold by the federal courts. Of course, signed a very controversial law, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which is seen by lesbian, gay people as a real strike at their hearts. And so he's going to have some opposition, but not inside that Republican convention. And that is key to get Donald Trump off to a good start. Hope to have that convention bounce that all candidates want.
Okay, let's wrap this up with our political analyst, Matthew Dowd. That's the convention. How about in the general election? What does Mike Pence bring to Donald Trump?
Well, George, I don't think he resets the table demographically or geographically dramatically, but it does. I think it's going to be an asset for Donald Trump. This is his first big decision. This is his first demonstration that he needs to be presidential. And this pick, I think, is going to demonstrate that he went outside his normal comfort zone, which is usually to do something outrageous, and to make a pick that's very strong and steady. So I think that's going to be helpful for him in the general election. Mike Pence's life is about to change. And to paraphrase his favorite movie, Wizard of Oz, Governor, you're not in Indiana anymore.
He's on that plane to New York. The announcement tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with Donald Trump. One more time, Donald Trump has settled on Mike Pence, Indiana governor, to be his running mate in this general election against Hillary Clinton. She's still waiting on her choice. We're going to have a lot more tonight on World News. Also check out the special tonight, The People and the President, President and the People, and I'll see you tomorrow on GMA.
This has been a special report from ABC News.